everyone, and welcome to Perfect Conditions at Amy Stadium for this vital clash between the Adelaide Crows and the Hawks on your screen. 4-1 the mighty Hawks at the moment on the AFL ladder. And of course, it is a big day for the Adelaide Crows. They are 2-3 and need a victory. An injury-depleted, morally depleted side at the moment, the Adelaide Crows at home against the Hawthorn Football Club. Two of the greats from their respective sides. Five-time day and night premiership superstar Dermot Brereton from Hawthorn, and Mark Rasciuto, the King of Adelaide, is here. How are you, mate?
I'm good, Ed. How are you feeling? You feeling safe down
it's
here?
It's wonderful here, mate. I'm feeling a bit safer. I'll just stand alongside you. Anything I need to know about?
You'll be all right. We love you over here, Ed. But it's going to be a ripping game. Perfect conditions, as you said. Adelaide need a win, and Hawthorn are on fire, so it's going to be a beauty.
Derm, if Buddy don't get you, Cyril does, but there's no Cyril today, and that leaves a gaping hole in the Hawthorn side.
Yeah, he exited stage right last week after twanging that hamstring. Really nasty one coming up here, and you just see that little handball out there, overstretched, the kick off the ground, and watch, he even turns his knee inward because it's stretching like that. Watch him, see he turns the heel to the inside because that's how much it hurts. He had to put a bend in the knee. He's got a few blokes who need to cover the loss for him today. Well, you'll never cover Cyril because he's so good at certain areas. Young Hill there will give them foot pace around the contest to try and restrict the opposition on the outward flow. So that's what they need to cover the most.
And Roo, a wonderful servant of the Adelaide Crows, Ben Rutten today in his 200th game.
Yeah, he's been a ripper of a fullback, big trucky Rutten, all-Australian. There he is with his two lads as well coming out in the field. He's been one of the greats, probably the best fullback the Crows have had, and he'll be super keen for a win today.
And those little fellas are just Tonka trucks at the moment. If they follow on from the old man, we get a shot of them in 15 years' time. They'll be big as houses.
It's a wonderful scene. There's something we celebrate in AFL football. The champions of the game. There's not many mugs, if any, who get to 200 games of football, and certainly this bloke is one of the greats. Ben Rutten with his two little boys running onto the ground. Well, of course, it is a huge game, not only for Ben Rutten, but for this football club. Last year, preliminary finalists. This year, just can't get going. The injuries, all the dramas over the summer with the salary cap, you name it, it's gone against the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, might have weighed on them all over the summer. Who knows what's going on, but one thing's for sure, they're not the side they were last year. They were hard in contested ball and crashing in, but this year we haven't seen any of it. They've been inconsistent. And there's Taylor Walker, obviously the story of the moment, twisting his knee last week, putting him out for the season, and we'll talk to him at half-time today.
Is that the moment that the Adelaide Crows season ended?
I think it was. Look, if they can rebound from this, it'll be unbelievable. But there he is, the big fella. I think reality will be starting to set in, and he's been in a jovial mood all week. But when he's not out there with the rest of the boys, I think he understands where he's at.
Guys, last week when he got injured, the Crows really lifted. But it's a different thing when you can rearrange and lift on a particular game. When you've got a week to think about it, it really starts to hit. And let's have a look at the omissions this year and how it's affected the Crows, who were fantastic last year.
Yeah, well, they went from 106 points last year, and they're down to 89 now. But you take out these players, Kurt Tippett 11, Taylor Walker 17, average per game, Pleasure 8 down to 68, and you keep going down there. Graham Johncock out now with 6. That takes them down to 62.
Yeah, Paul Pleasure back into the side gives them a little bit. They're going to have to find some new goal kickers.
He's going to have to kick 4 today, isn't he, Paul Pleasure? And I spoke to Brenton Sanderson yesterday, who was out on the golf course with Rob Chapman, the president, because the president said, mate, you need to come and have a hit of golf and just relax. It's getting on top of you. They're even apologising to the coach, aren't they?
Well, they are, and someone would call that sucking up, wouldn't they? Just get out there and actually do it, boys. They've been out of form, but who knows? McKernan's coming in for his first game. It's his time. He's 5 years since he's been drafted. He's big. He needs to play a role. Andy Otten might be forward, but he might be back too today, given Hawthorn's forward line dominance. There could be Dangerfield. We know he can kick goals and go forward, but then you're robbing the midfield. So it could be midfielders, it could be Paul Pleasure, it could be Jenkins and McKernan. It'll probably, in reality, need to be everyone.
One thing I look at Adelaide this year, they're playing a very honest game of football. We know that. They were harder running last year. They've got less handballs. They're second last for handball receives this year, which means they're not running as hard, and they don't retain the footy. They've given it away. They are last for effective disposals this season. They need to hold on to the footy.
And look for Big Sauce Jacobs to play a key role at full forward as well. Maybe even playing 50-50 with McKernan in the ruck and changing at full forward. Come back to the old days again. Well, last year, Adelaide Crows given no chance. They were within a kick of making the grand final against the Hawks. Burgoyne put the Hawks 8 points up. Then that man, Taylor Walker, with 4 goals on the night, really lifted the Crows. In the last quarter, John Cock put Adelaide in front. Can you believe it? And then step up Cyril. Well, he won't be there today, but it was this famous tackle from Stratton on Dangerfield that caused the turnover and the Buddy goal. Come the moment, cometh the man, and Big Buddy slots it home. That is the ecstasy. This is the agony. For the Crows at this stage, it was, well, we're not there next week, but maybe next year will be our year. Today could decide whether next year might have to be their year. Back with Adelaide Hawthorn from Amy Stadium next.
The damning stat for me is the contested ball one, because that's something that this club's really proud about. We're the #1 contested ball side in 2012. I'm not sure where we sit now in 2013, but that's the area that we really have to knuckle down on and get back to what we're actually very good at.
Purely because we're not winning the key areas that we set ourselves to win. The contested balls are a big one, and clearance is another big one.
We've just got to get back to playing that really ruthless style, that you know, that balance of attack and defence that we're used to. We're giving up contested ball, which is not the way that we play. You know, minus 41 last week is just not us.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. A massive day for that group there. That huddle there being the Adelaide Crows. And this is the story. This is what they need to get right today. The contested possession and the clearance battle. They were ferocious in 2012, averaging plus 12 contested possessions week to week versus their opposition. That has fallen right away to minus 8 per week on average. That is a significant drop of 20 per week. That needs to be remedied today. And for me, it's that group there in the midfield. And we'll get to that now. Let's have a look at the lineups today. A couple of late changes. Henderson out for the Crows, and you can see Richard Tambling in straight on the bench there. Right is your substitute. It's the midfield group that need to get the job done. It's Thompson, McKay, Sloan, Dangerfield, the same names but a different situation today. Today is a must. Who plays a full forward? Well, we wait and see. The Hawks, a late change for the Hawks as well. You can just see there, Duray goes into the back line, will play as a left-footed exit running player, a damaging player for the ruckman in Max Bailey. The big change today, the big thing I want to look out for today is the contested battle in the midfield, and it all starts with the ruckman. It starts with Big Sauce Jacobs. He needs to get them going. He needs to ensure that this midfield can remain proactive, not reactive. He's fallen away this year. His hit-out numbers well down. His hit-outs to advantage well down, averaging plus 8 last year, and they've gone down to minus 2.5 this year. Some significant concerns. Today is the day that Brenton Sanderson needs Sam Jacobs to take control. Upstairs to you, Anthony Hudson, Eddie Maguire, Dermot Burton, and of course, Mark Rasciuto. A very nervous Mark Rasciuto.
Is that right, Mark? You're a bit nervous about the Crows?
Absolutely not. I'm actually looking forward to it. I think the Crows will come out today. In fact, if they don't come out in this first quarter today and play like they did last year, well, then there's some serious problems at this footy club. But I'm expecting them to come out all guns blazing.
And McKernan gets his chance at full forward. He sprints down to the goal square. He's standing there. He's twisting and turning. He's warming up. He's limbering, ready to go. He gets his moment in the sun. He's got Brian Lake going back to him, the All-Australian fullback. So there you go. That is one of the great matchups. Stern, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, well, I'd actually prefer to have him out a little bit further and maybe a bigger body Jenkins take Lake and make Lake really accountable, because Lake will read the ball through the air pretty well.
The crowd know how big this game is too for the Crows. They'll be making plenty of noise. They are already. Round 6 from Amy Stadium. And Hale facing off in the middle against Jacobs, who, well, good follow-up work from Hale. And it's Sewell, a welcome return to the Hawthorn side. And there he is, getting back Riley. He's needed to lift after a slow start this year after being outstanding last year.
Straight away, Grant Birchall, as a back flanker, has a tagging player, Kerridge, go to him already.
Yeah, he's been tagging for the last few weeks, Sam Kerridge from Mildura, the boy, and done good jobs.
And Dangerfield to half forward. Porplesia. And they've worked it well. Jenkins just tries to bust clear. And unfortunately, the kick was well astray, but positive start for the Crows.
Yeah, looks like Thompson and Saul will go head-to-head, two hard nuts in the midfield. That'll be a terrific battle as well.
Mitchell, who was fantastic early on last week in defence, chips it out, but he's turned it over. Chance now for Douglas got it over the top to Sloan, two of the Crows' better players in recent times, but it's Hawthorn again who run the ball out through Gibson this time. Gets the handball working to Hill. Hill twisting and turning, finds a bit of space, but then runs into a brick wall. Big Jacobs could have run through and cleaned up Hale, could have put him in the next week and just didn't. As a result of that, Sewell takes it to half forward. Picked up now by Osborne, who swings it inside. Dangerous bouncing ball. Out comes Rufford, clean bowls him. Little toe poke off the ground from Brust, and it's over the line out of bounds in the forward pocket.
They really didn't want to kick them out of defence, Hawthorn Durham, did they? Lots of handball.
They actually ran themselves into a bit of trouble. But I don't think there was much offering up at the top of the 50.
Hale showed all the initiative there, but again, it's Riley coming through with plenty of purpose, feeding Talia. Stratton in front. And Burplegia did well to break even there. Birchall get plenty of heat from Kerridge by the look of it. And the ball, no, it didn't go out. Well, Stratton a bit lazy on that one, and the Crows are going to get an extra move forward that they may not have got. Hurried kick, Vince. Not going to help the cause, though.
Well,
Gibson.
Bradley Hill's on right
He's
in
on.
the middle if he could get there. He's just a bit far away. He's going to get it this next one. No, he's not going to go out there.
And Guerra measures off the ball for Stratton.
It'll eventually split for him if he works hard.
Shields.
Oops.
Oh. And the Hawks just a little wobbly there, and that was a wobbly kick into the middle.
They're all on here, the Adelaide Crows.
Poor pleasure. He had Sloan short. He went longer for Jenkins, who takes the mark okay, and now he's going to... Well, he's not even looking. He's going to go back and have the shot.
He's actually got beautiful skills, the big fella. He used to play basketball. There's Texie Walker on screen, wishing he was out there taking this catch and kicking this goal. But this is one of the blokes that needs to stand up if Adelaide can kick a winning score. They've got McKernan in the side, so he can play ruck as well. And Big Jenkins, he is a beautiful kick, but this will test him from just outside 50.
This will be a bonus goal, absolute bonus goal. They've been handed on a plate to them. If he can kick this, he's got to put it away. 6
goals, 3. His tally from 5 matches. It's line ball stuff. Oh! Towering effort on the line. And it was good stuff too, flying over the top from Brian Lake. Just looked twice, and Brian Lake, he does look half the man he used to. He really didn't.
Let's watch this ball if it went out of bounds. This is where it all came from.
Oh, it didn't completely go the outside, but you've got to play until the umpire blows the whistle.
Yeah, the point of it was well overdone, but not the entire point at the back of the ball, if you like. Anyway, here we go again. The Adelaide Crows have got plenty of vim and verve about them at the moment as Thompson gets the handball over to McKay. Inside with a scrubby old kick. It spills out. Lynch, good kick. Running into the open goal, Vince, but he's run down. He gets his kick smothered. Why play on from 35 directly in front, Mark Rashuda?
I think he thought he had no one behind, Eddie, but sometimes you just don't realise they're there. But at 30 metres out, probably go back, kick the goal, put it beyond doubt.
Sam Mitchell, stationed in defence these days for a lot of the game. Across to Gibson, and they've worked their way out. Puopolo, he's wanting to move, and because Hodge was charging full-chested down the ground, fairly open passage ahead. Burgoyne started forward today. He's in career best form when you look at his numbers, and that was beautifully laid at Baines. Just the little hands in the back.
It's a steadying motion. He didn't push him under it. He didn't nudge him forward. He steadied himself on the back of Truck Rutten.
And Tambling a late inclusion today for the Crows. Sends it Jenkins' way again. And again a fly with purpose. Puopolo, he gets a few of them.
He's worked on that technique.
He's only a little fella from Nord in South Australia, so he'll be looking forward to playing good footy in front of his home crowd.
Now, this is from this point so far, Hawthorn twice have given the ball to Adelaide with overuse.
Lake from the back line gives it across to Hill and chip kick inside. Crows got the numbers there. Good play by Dangerfield. Another good handball came out there from Otten, who has the chance to go forward as he did last week. Now it's picked up by Brust, whose kick is up to the forward 50. Gunston's kick is a ripper. And Jordan Lewis will go back and line up from 40 metres out on a pretty, well, it's a reasonable angle, this one, but there's plenty of goal open for him. We'll get the reverse angle shot. Nice little kick around the body there from Jack Gunston.
15 gone.
So Jordan Lewis has kicked 93 career goals, comes in.
He's stabbed.
Make that 94, the first on the board to the Hawks.
That's the equivalent of playing a golf shot, getting it under the wind. He just stabbed into it, kept it very low and punched it through rather than give it a little bit of air, put it halfway up the post, and there's a chance the breeze can hit it up there. So he literally stabbed past it through for a goal. Yeah,
it was a costly mistake by David McKay there with the bounce of the ball. If he had players on in front of him there, couldn't catch the ball after it bounced, and Hawthorn, like good sides do, took full advantage of it.
Early goal too, as far as Hawthorn are concerned, can take the sting out of the Crows and the crowd. They've got some big bodies in here, the Hawks, with Sewell, Lewis and Hodge, the three men waiting to try and get it after the tap. And the tap came from Jacobs. There's Dangerfield.
See, even that, Dangerfield had the ball, and he's a powerful unit, and Sewell ripped it out of his possession and ended up drawing the high tackle.
And surging forward through Birchall, and then eventually with Roughhead, kicking it deep. And Bruce pushed off it by Tambling. Riley's got some issues back there. Douglas, a welcome hand. And they're going to get out of it okay with Otten and then Talia. Oops. They keep advancing. Bernie Vince at the handball. Off to Kerridge. Suddenly the Crows on the wing.
See, this is what I say. They're an honest team. Now, that's good hard run. That's wonderful. But they play straight lines. If you're on a burst like that, you've at least got to look into the middle and see if you can transfer to the corridor. At least look in there. They just only ever look down the line.
Mitchell already with 4 disposals. Took it from Stratton. Had to search and give up a bit of ground. Gibson, so they're a little off balance here, the Hawks. It's close to the line. It's just in for Stratton. Workman-like stuff to half forward.
Surely that's a hold. Surely that's a hold.
Yes, yeah.
But Talia has given away the free kick. The NAB Rising Stars got the big job on Buddy.
And bursting into the pocket, Isaac Smith. His anticipation was outstanding there.
He's playing true wing at the moment, so that's hard run from the opposite wing. That's play on.
He comes in. He's going to go mighty close from there, but it was a tough one for a left footer.
You're right, Doom. What the Crows are doing here is quite admirable. They're winning enough ball. Their possession retention's the killer. They've only taken 7 marks in 8 minutes of football, and they've had their opportunities. They've got targets out. They're just not hitting them.
Riley to Douglas. Douglas looks up and Dangerfield is on. Beautiful set play. Needs to take the mark. Does well enough to keep control of it. Now, breaks the tackle. Gives it off to Thompson. Thompson looks to the forward 50 and out, coming out again and taking a strong mark there was Lynch. Lynch from right in the pocket. Kicks to the goal square. Gave him no chance. Need to be the top of the square.
I'll just throw to you again, Kingy. Down at ground level, you'll read it as a bloke who has played wing and back. That's a straight line from kick in around this flank, and the only time was Dangerfield looked to go inside but still came down to this pocket. They play dead straight lines right up and down the footy ground.
As a matter of fact, they don't have any angled runners either. They don't have anyone hitting that opposite half-forward flank or that corridor area as an uncontested mark recipient, and that's a real problem because they haven't got that target. They end up playing a pretty basic plan.
Low-scoring start to this game at AAMI Stadium. 9 gone, just the 1 goal on the board. Vince hacks it inside 50, gives everyone a run at it. And Gibson had just about more determination than any of them. Got it to the own advantage of the Hawks. Giray was in there scrapping away. And Lewis attracting plenty of Crows to wrap him up.
Burgoyne started forward for the Hawks and has not vacated the forward line yet. Well, they'll still push up pretty high, but still got him up their sleeve to run through the midfield.
McKernan had the first crack of it out of the ruck. Osborne, Sloan, and now Hodge. Lewis, instant kick aimed at Burgoyne, but nicely taken by Riley. Cut off with the pass.
Good match-up, Riley on Burgoyne. Both really good, skillful players. So look forward to see who wins that one at the end of the day.
McKernan did well there. He just found a bit of space, snuck in around behind his defender. Then the chip kick forward, doesn't quite make it. Now the Crows need to get something here. They've butchered it inside 50, and the mark has been taken by Jenkins, who has kicked one behind and one that didn't quite make the distance. So it's 2 shots at goal.
One of their problems, Ed, has been efficiency going into the forward 50 this year. They've been getting it in a reasonable amount of times, but haven't been able to convert. Last year, they were the best in the competition when they were going inside 50. This year, they're about the 15th best side, so they need to fix that up.
They've had 4 shots at goal for 3 behind so far. And that's another one that was neither not a fish nor foul, that kick, was it? It was a banana that he kicked with the wrong side, a floater. There's still a chance, though. The ball is alive, and we'll get a ball up 15 metres out from the Crow goal.
Fine line when you're kicking bananas from about 40 metres out. You really do have to nail it in the right part of the footy.
It's just a fraction to the left, and she goes the other way.
Pack over the top of the ball. Roughhead gets it out to Lewis, to Gibson. Around the corner, dangerous kick. Puopolo got one right in the middle of the back. Should have got the free kick, didn't. Burgoyne handballs to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in 30 metres round. So a chance here for the Crows again. They've got to get themselves set up here.
Well, there's a big congregation of players inside the 50, and right in that pocket, Roughhead had someone there for him all the way, so he was happy to get it down into that direction. Shields is clear and kicking. Now they're bursting through the middle. Bruce had to wade through the traffic, did it effectively. Hodge looking for runners. There's none better than Hill. He can burst. He's got Smith ahead of the play. He should keep going here. He does. Oh, he was a little bit indecisive, but he just got it crisply enough, and the Hawks have got 2 on the board.
What you've got to understand when you're a midfielder in your back, this is the just see that the Shields there was in the perfect spot to get where the opposition ruckman always tap the ball. They always tap it straight down to the most defensive spot. That was poor defence by the Adelaide midfield there. Hawthorn got it. They used the ball well. Hodge is a great ball user, and the Hawthorn players run forward with too much speed and get the goal. But bad defensive structures by the Adelaide Crows.
So Hill, who Dermot Brereton said, well, could come in and do something, filling the gap left by Silrioli, ran from halfback at full stretch, got away, was 50 metres clear of anyone, and Hodge put it on his chest. It was beautiful coast-to-coast football from the Hawthorn Football Club. Dangerfield had it and then lost it, knocked out of his hand. Free kick to Douglas from the back.
No, did he fall for? Oh, trip from behind.
Trip, yeah.
Gee, I thought for a second he was going to pay. He fell into the shins of the Hawthorn player. Correct decision. Well done.
Great tap by Jacobs too. That's something they haven't seen many of this year from Sammy.
Tamblin's kick to the pocket is a good one, and Thompson, who's been hampered the last week or so with a hip injury, but is out there today and playing well.
Tough kick from here though, boys. We've seen the last 2 shots on goal from deep in that pocket. They need to be bringing the ball back into the centre, as Dermy said.
Why is this the Bermuda Triangle of football?
Well, it's when the Hawthorn are dropping back numbers in the space, and I guess an inexperienced forward line, they're pushing them wide, aren't they?
No, I mean as far as having a shot at goal, because he's just put it out in the full again.
Well, it always is. I don't know why. It's not like there's a wind that pushes that way. In fact, usually the wind pushes it back into the centre of the ground.
Well, Thompson was hoping for the wind there, but there is absolutely not even the slightest zephyr here today.
Hill kicks, slow marks though for the Crows. Quick glance into the 50. Had McKay, but he needed a bigger target than that. Or Pleasure buzzing around into this pocket. Yeah. He comes and then he goes to ground. They tripped over each other a little bit there.
See, that one there, to me, Rory Sloane, wonderful guts in and under football. If you have the slightest bit of forward momentum, you got to play on from there, and a forward will read it and get to the right spot.
Vince searching. Found Tambling at close quarters.
He was tripped there, wasn't he?
He couldn't do much once he went to ground. Sloane, he's a hard man to get past. He's got great determination. Birchall, and well read. Vince has come out really full of fire. He's up to 6 disposals, Bernie Vince. Got a bit to prove. He's down this season. Started slowly last year, but really had a solid year in the end. Into the 50. They came from all angles. McKay scooting past. Sewell did him no favours. Crunched him into the ground. And it's eventually just over the line.
Well, the Crows are having the opportunities. They're leading the inside 50s, albeit 9-8, but no score on the scoreboard at this stage because they're going very wide in the forward 50.
They're down by 5 in the contested possessions, which won't please the coach either. The Crows, Burgoyne to Roughhead. Bit of individual brilliance from both players there. And they're dangerous again. They're bolting. Hill with Smith ahead of him once more. Puopolo will come in and provide the protection. He's carried it. He's got himself into trouble. Had to change the mind and give to Puopolo in the end, but it was to his advantage, and he could drill the pass to Hodge.
Hodge playing full forward at the moment. Had a rest out of the midfield, went to the goal square. Looks like Andy Otten's picking him up there on the mark.
Twice Hill has got to within 50 and has not panicked. He's just steadied himself, surveyed the options, and then did the right thing. First time played on, put it through. This time, waited for Piopolo to come through. Just needed to get the separation and got it, because he was at the end of his run. He didn't have much left in the tank. It was beautiful.
Last two forward plays, Brewster's carried the ball out of 50 and was side on to when the goal was kicked from inside forward 50, and that time Hill.
And Hodge comes in. And that'll do. It's a goal. So the Hawks really getting them on the counter at the moment, aren't they? Yep. Same number of inside 50s. 3-1-19 plays 3 behinds.
Yeah, and Hill's the one that's the one running the ball, isn't he, Derm? He's been in 2 or 3 of the goals so far, just running hard through the centre of the ground. Beautiful kick there by Piopolo onto Luke Hodge.
Roo, the thing I'm seeing is Bruce ran the ball out the last one. Hill this time, they're playing the type of game that Adelaide based their entire game plan in years gone by.
So the Crows crowd lifts because they know they must get the next goal to stay in this game, even at this very early stage. The counter-attacking Hawthorn side. Profligate up forward, the Crows at the moment, they're getting it inside 50, but cannot get it through the big sticks at the moment. Heading to the wrong pocket, they're all at sea at the moment. Now, they get another break, it comes out. Beautiful kick from Dangerfield on the left foot. It's marked by Lynch. Handballs over the top. Sloan, again, they've got it going. Yench's kick into the hot spot. They need a mark. Up they go. Big pack flies, no one down. Gibson for Hawthorn. Handball misses the target. They're backing it here, the Crows.
Good hit.
Yench goes hard at the ball. Good play. Guerra was there as well. 50-50 contest. Both men deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, neither of them slid in. They both sort of kept their feet, met shoulder on, and a great contest. Guerra wouldn't back down. He's a hard unit, and Yench did what he needed to do and took the hit.
Well, again, the Hawks defence on high alert because the Crows are buzzing around. Thompson, Dangerfield, Vince. They need something to go right in front of the sticks, the Crows, and it just won't.
Bernie's getting his hands on the ball. He's had 8 disposals already in this first quarter, but he needed to do better there. He did compose himself, but couldn't finish off with a goal.
They need a big mark in the corridor, the Crows. Lewis.
How do you think they're going to him so far, minus Walker, into the 50? Anything much different?
To me, apart from the quick rebound, which anybody could have marked, that Jenkins took inside forward 50, every lead has gone to the boundary. So to me, they're running away from the heat, the traffic, to get to space. Now, that's fine. I always say a mark on the boundary is better than being spoiled in the corridor, but it affects the way you shoot a goal.
He's very inexperienced. He just probably needs to stand at the top of the square and just command it in long, Derm.
Sloan was thrown to the ground without the ball. Should have got the free kick. The Crows crowd saw it. The umpire didn't. In the meantime, Sewell was beautiful to Puopolo. They're away. Osborne, he decides to kick it and hoping that Burgoyne can get there, but the boundary will take it. Crows fans say, how about an intentional?
Well, it almost was, wasn't it? It was like he decided that he didn't like what was ahead.
Yeah, he did it well enough.
I'm convinced there's a place for the Gary Owen, the under and over, what do you call the up and under in our league footy now that we've got deliberates for kicks such as that. That one not pinged.
So at the moment, the boundary umpires are giving it a good hoik over their heads. It's good stuff. Ball spills to the ground, and Smith for the Crows through Riley.
And now to Sloan. Sloppy looking kick, and it wasn't good, was it? Marked by Hodge. So the Hawks again. No, he stabs it into the pocket. That wasn't deliberate.
He just didn't quite hit it right there, Lukey Hodge. Had the target there of Gunston leading to space, but just come off his toe. Be disappointed there, Hodgie.
Now that it's settled a little bit, Hawthorn have got the players in the positions they want. Mitchell had to come up to the wing for the bounces, for the first couple of bounces. He's now found his mark on the back flank, so he's controlling the football when it gets to him on the back flank. He's sitting 30 metres behind play now. So by not scoring goals, Adelaide, Hawthorn are now comfortable, and they've already gone into the game mode that they want.
Oh, can the Hawks inch their way to goal? Not yet. Thompson, oh, that's dangerous. Gunston was ready. Sloan, they're on the back foot, the Crows here. And touch ball, you heard the call.
Great pressure by Hawthorn. Adelaide are really under the pump here, so just need to hold their nerves and try and get some clear ball coming out of defence. He's Falcon there. It's not what you need.
And you can see Sewell there just revving up the Hawks saying, come on, boys, we've got them, we're squeezing them, we're squeezing them. Shields couldn't quite get the kick. Now it's picked up. They're all smothering each other. Adelaide gets the kick and kicks the goal. It was only a matter of when the Hawks were like a boa constrictor.
You can just see here, Ed, that there's no switch. You can just see there they had an angled option there, McKernan, right across the ground to the top of 50, and he didn't use it. And this is opposite to what the Hawks are doing. The Hawks are using angle, linking up, offside run in Hill. He gets rewarded. It's a great run, but it makes an easy score at the end of a pretty simple play. But because they put an angle into that game, it just makes it so much easier to score.
Hawthorn got absolutely pantsed in the clearances last week against North Melbourne, Durham, but today they're leading 10-5, and that's a massive advantage against a side that was up there in the best in the comp last year.
And looking sharp, even though Adelaide have had the ball in their forward half, it hasn't transferred into goals. 25 plays 4.
Kingy, just that game style of being able to flick it from one side to the other is an educated team. Teams that play straight lines, you're educating them. I reckon Adelaide are ahead of that. They don't need to be playing that on a top brand of footy.
Yeah, I agree, Dermot. It's just a bit of poise, a bit of composure. Look how long the Hawks take in between possessions, and that's where you really assess what's going on.
And it's in Hodges' hands now. And that's another sharply angled kick. Hale and Buddy, haven't seen much of him yet. They're both there. Oh, Bruce, they left it behind. Talia had a lot of Hawks lining up, wanted a piece of him. It's a bounce
again. The last goal, 3 Hawks lined up and all got hands on it before the third one. Puopolo.
Well, they smothered their own teammate too.
Kicked it into his own teammate's back, and once again, 2 of them queued up and it ran past both of them.
Yeah, he could be in trouble here, Gunston. He grabbed the ball. No, he's okay. He rolled around with it.
This is where, look, let's watch this. If Adelaide win it and take it out, let's just see if they can put a transfer of direction with the outflowing ball.
Well, let's see if they can do something for you, Dermot. It's going to be...
OK, well, they'll get a shot now at it.
And the Hawks at the moment running tick under 50% on inside 50s to score, so they are making the most of their opportunities.
Speaking of 50%, that's the percentage of Adelaide's kicking efficiency at the moment, so they're missing 1 in 2 targets.
Pressure, good pressure by Hawthorn, forcing the errors.
And that's the one that had to hit the spot, and it did. Good kick from Smith.
Now, this will come down the line. They've got players side on, even if they go reverse. They go in reverse less than anyone else. Straight down the line, so they'll pick it off.
Off 2 steps, it was a high up and under
Gibson.
from McKernan, and Gibson, who is one of the best spoils in the game, finds the boundary line by 10 metres.
Well, if you said to Josh Gibson, what do you want today? He'd say, just give me a shot for 12 seconds to see where the ball's going, straight down the line and let me pick it off.
Against a medium-sized forward, just to put a bit of extra icing on the cake for him, Derm.
Yeah.
Guerra.
Well done.
Goes to the ground. Good play there by Lynch. Fought hard. Lewis held the ball. Just that little bit of composure that Mark Rashido was talking about. Kick squeezes forward, but it's all Hawks. Mitchell, who usually doesn't waste a kick. Left foot kick up the line, looking for Hale. Brought him forward, got a little bit nudged underneath by Rutten. Good play by Tambling. Nice little kick out from Dangerfield. The mark taken by Yinch.
This is the kick they've got to find down the middle of the ground.
There was options at centre-half forward. He went over the head of Lynch. It was on. It goes to full forward. Big pack. No one front and square. Sloan kept his feet, did it well. Got the handball. No U-turn. He decided to get the handball going. Back to Smith. High up and under. Oh, they get within 30 metres, Roo, and they just head to the boundary line, whether it's intentional or otherwise. That's where they go.
Well, I said before the game, this year they've been hopeless going inside forward 50. They're the same today. You've got to give Hawthorn credit at the moment. They're putting a lot of pressure on, but Adelaide's forward 50 just has not worked all year.
Dangerfield trying to take matters into his own hands. So did Isaac Smith. Maybe with some high contact there. Maybe it was holding the ball. It's in the back.
Free kick.
Adelaide free.
That's there.
And Dangerfield, you could see just the initiative he showed there, Ruse. He had to take it into his own hands, he felt.
Well, he does that. He kicks goals when the side needs. He's that type of player, so hopefully he can go back and kick the first goal for the Crows. I don't know if you deserve a goal, but as you saw on the screen before, they've had 60% of the ball inside forward 50 compared to Hawthorn's 40, but they have not got a goal to show for it.
There was a real guilty look up from Brad Sewell there when the close-in camera came up. It was like, oh, that'd be me.
7 goals, 4 in season 2013. Patrick Dangerfield.
Oh, he's called him for too long.
Oh, and then he had to really dig in and kick it long, and he still managed to land it. There's not much he can't do, this man.
He's a freak. He's a goal-kicking midfielder that can just about do everything, and he just does things when they need to be done from the side's point of view. Went to go third man up, went back in there, got a bit of a lucky one there. There wasn't much in it, but it was probably there. And then the umpire called play on, and he said, oh, well, I'll just bang it from 55 instead.
Surely he didn't take longer than Ahmed Saad.
But he was on the runway earlier.
A roast dinner doesn't take as long as I would say.
Well, he's had 9 touches, Paddy Dangerfield, and going at 100% efficient too with the kicking, boys. So he's a class player, we know that.
Called to play on, he just had the patience and the understanding of the game to be able to play on, get on the arc and kick the goal. Boy, did they need that. Now, you can see 2 minutes to go. If the Crows can get another one here, I tell you what, they'll say it's almost an honourable win for this quarter. They have shown everything that their coach could ask them as far as endeavour. It's just been missing the vital kicks inside 30. Up it goes again. Poor Pleasure was there over the top. Here he goes. Hill, no one will go near him. Hill lines it up and he kicks the goal.
Brewston Hill again.
Hill gets his second and his third assist, if you like, because he has been fantastic. He's set up 18 points of Hawthorn's 32.
Jamie, that is just class. That is a long, high kick. There's nothing wrong with that under pressure. Roughhead competes, brings it to the ground, and then you've got class on the deck. Look at that for a pick-up. Gets it out. That's a hard finish. But I tell you what, Hill's come on and leaps and bounds.
If you look at Roughhead's hands, you teach this to young forwards. Now, he's an experienced forward. He has open, flat hands to take the pace off the ball. He knows it's going to be an incredibly difficult mark, so he doesn't want to make a hard spill and the ball run 30 metres away. He has soft hands and makes sure the ball spills to the front so crummers like Bruce can go. That is, in part, Jared Roughhead spiking the ball or patting the ball down to a crumb.
Career best 21 disposals last week for Bradley Hill. And hasn't he kicked on today with 2 goals already? In the back.
Too many young key forwards think they have to mark the ball all the time. They don't. They just have to be predictable for the small fellas.
Sounds like it came from a smaller player, not a key forward. The kick goes to half forward from Smith. And it's going to come back to Franklin.
But some of them don't compete when they don't think they can mark harder. But really, if you bring it to the ground, the little fellas know where to run. That's poor defence.
Couple coming hard, and Hodge was one of them at the ball carrier. But the Crows are able to... There's a bit of a switch in play. Well, a little bit from Jens, but it didn't quite... in the end, it's just gone down the line. They've been able to pick it off again, the Hawks. Guerra's kick is smothered.
Dylan, you said early in the game about Buddy playing a bit further up the ground today. He seems to be doing that.
He does. I think Talia, who seems to be a pretty good athlete for a big kid as well, he's just a bit worried in the one-on-ones. It might be time when they just start to get a little bit of fatigue into the body to take him back to the goal square, and Talia might clamour on with some of those grab tactics when the ball's close to goal.
Gee, look at Dangerfield. He's still going hammer and tong at that. The Hawks had the numbers around the ball, and eventually it's worked over the line and out of bounds. But he's in there laying tackles. They're trying hard.
I think everyone's having a crack here. It's a pretty good game of footy, really. Just Hawthorn a bit efficient going forward, a bit too classy going forward at this stage.
Well, the ruckmen take care of each other. They both go to ground.
The ball landed on the deck. Hey, Kingy, before the game I was telling you about the hard run of Luke Bruce. He just runs from defensive 50 to forward 50. 9 times out of 10 he doesn't get it, but what he does, he gives the opposition one more runner to think about.
Absolutely, Derm. He's only had the 5 disposals, but he creates scores and space, as you say. The teammates must love his work rate. I'm just looking at this at ground level, and it looks to me like the Crows are just happy to arrive at the contest second. I know their contested numbers read okay, but they're looking like they're giving the advantage to the Hawks in a positional sense.
Well, and their last 4 or 5 forward thrusts have been basically jacking the pack kicks, haven't they? Anyway, the siren beats them on this occasion. Umpire Ray Chamberlain says that'll do us.
Even that one, that really is a straight line from when Dangerfield turns in, his kicks to centre forward, but they come around the boundary way too much in straight lines.
It's the Hawks by 22 points at Amy Stadium at quarter time. Welcome back to Amy Stadium. The umpires today, Dean Margetts, Chambo, Ray Chamberlain and Jason Armstrong. And 3 cheers for the umpires because it's umpire appreciation round. And I tell you what, we're all at the junior footy over the weekend. I'll be down there tomorrow at the Brand Footy Club, and you can't do it without the umpies, and they do a pretty good job too. Well done to the boys in green today and the girls as well. And good luck to all the junior umpires out there. We love you and we need you. We love this bloke too, Roo, one of your favourites. I never would have thought that one of the greats, you said possibly Adelaide's greatest fullback, kicked 3 goals with his first 3 kicks.
Yeah, that's very rare. We know a lot of blokes kick the goal with their first kick, but 3 out of 3 was a big start to his career, and he wasn't a full forward either. He just got put in that position because Mark Stevens wasn't around that day. But an all-Australian fullback, just solid as a rock back there. You know, in good sides you need a good, strong fullback. He's certainly that, and he's had a great career.
He's another one of those... well, he was centre-half forward, wasn't he? He was a junior.
Yeah, centre-half forward, centre-half back.
He's another one of those forwards, didn't cut the mustard as a forward and turned into one of the great full-backs.
Give him one in the belly there, dude.
But it's true, there's so many great full-backs who started at the other end.
Yeah.
And they can read the play, and they know where the ball's going, but for one reason or another, might only be a tiny reason, that they couldn't get it done as a centre forward, and they go to the other end where they watch all the traffic coming towards them and they read the play so well.
He had a reconstruction when he was an underage player as well, and probably limited his flexibility, the big fella, but he is the strongest bloke I've ever done one-on-one with, Truck. He's over north of 100 kilos and a big unit, and got a big job today.
Well, the Crows have got a big job now, haven't they? They're 22 points behind. Where would they be without Dangerfield? 10 disposals, 100% kicking efficiency in the first quarter, 6 contested possessions, well and truly above all his teammates in the goal.
Superstar, and rises to the occasion too, Danger.
McKay's gone onto Hill on the wing here. We just need to shut him down with his offensive run, I'd say.
Yep, good call.
Into the second quarter then, Lewis, Puopolo, the Hawks sorting it out and getting it into Franklin's area. Good spoil Talia, the disciplined thing. McKay, Riley, just play on, you heard the touch. Lewis, Franklin charging the wrong way, Duray. Deep it goes. Isaac Smith and Gunston, the 2 targets. Smith flew hard. Here's Roughhead, so rolls reversed.
That's a clever kick.
It was. And Osborne, the benefactor.
What a great kick, Dern.
That's a wonderful kick. He sized it up. Big man, you talk about 100+ kilo men, 6'4½", Jared Roughhead. Non-dominant foot, 3 steps, a touch kick across the body. If he actually had a dartboard on his chest, he hit the bullseye.
Back for 2 games after missing 12 months with the knee reconstruction, and he stabs that one through, so it all continues for the Hawks here. They've kicked 6 of the first 7 goals and lead by 28 points.
And the difference, as you said, when you get stuck on the boundaries, having the presence of mind to look back to the inside on his non-dominant foot. Just watch it here. Boys compete in the air. The big rough takes the crumb, looks straight inside, and look, you don't often have a player loose like that in front of goal, but Osborne found the space, got the ball and finished it off. Well done, Hawthorn.
So it's been a matter of too good, too strong and too disciplined at the moment for the Hawks. Osborne kicks the first goal inside the first minute. Howell goes up, does the ruck work, 50-50, but he got the ball out to Puopolo, who's been good in the midfield, Dermot, so far. To Hodge, who is just sensational every time he plays the game. Inside 50 it goes. Franklin just waited and lurked for the ball to bounce his way. Ricocheted the opposite direction. Comes to Mitchell from Roughhead again, who sets it up. Good play by Talia. Well to the front. They need to really start going now, the Crows. Rutten gets the handball out wide. Vince. Douglas. The good players are getting it, and that's a magnificent kick from Douglas, who's having a really good season. Lynch now needs to do it with a kick and does, and Kerridge will need to kick 55 metres. Not sure if he's got it in the distance.
See, that was a good kick by Douglas, wasn't it? That's the one that set it up coming out the back flank. Knew he was going to get bundled over by Puopolo, a little cannonball coming at him, but was prepared to take that hit to get the good execution on the kick.
So Kerridge in his 4th game has only kicked 1 goal in his career. This will have to go all the 55 metres.
Good strike.
It's a beautiful kick and hits the post and sums up the Crows' day so far.
Yeah, he's doing the defensive job on Birchall, and I think Birchall only had one kick in that first quarter, didn't have much of the ball, so he's doing a good job so far.
Powerful kick in. Franklin comes late to get there, trying to assist Gunston. Talia had his wing clip, but he did well to make sure it got over the boundary line to safety.
He had 2 kicks, in fact, but he's been averaging about 30 touches so far this year, so doing a good job.
Yeah, up to 29 disposals a week, I should say.
Yeah, that won't get you far.
That were your stats, Hutto.
Into the middle of the ground. That was my good year, Ed.
Playing a good game here.
There were your left foot stats, right?
And once, look at this. Now, that's the angle split run that we talked about.
Yep.
It's come to a stop, but at least it comes in from a different angle. And when you go inside forward 50, well, it could have been a one-on-one.
Franklin with a bit of a heist there over the top of Luke Brown. And goes to ground now, buddy. And the Crows crowd scream for holding the ball. Oh, look at him.
Notice that Bruce should have been the man in the contest. Franklin probably called him out. Bruce runs away from the contest, turns around and faces where he thinks the spill is going to.
Yep, that was out on the full there. It hit out of bounds on the full, so it's a Hawthorn 3. To Isaac Smith.
Gee, they want to get numbers back here, Crows, if that's the case.
That's to Buddy.
Well, that's probably not going to suit Adelaide, because Buddy might even fancy himself from here. He'll get a big left.
He'll run into the fence
to
and
the left.
down.
He's not going to have a look at the goals, Dern.
Oh, mongrel!
And it very nearly found Sean Burgoyne's chest. Sloan just thrust himself forward. They've got to be desperate here, the Crows. They cannot afford to leak a goal. And they know that Rutten lays a big tackle. And it's going to be a bounce some 25 metres out from goal. Hawks leading by 27 and pressing in beautiful conditions here at Amy Stadium. Circling around this throw-up. Jacobs found it down. Thompson back towards the boundary line, but Franklin almost got there. Talia trailed him in. Here's Birchall to Sewell off the left. It'll take every bit of what Sewell had to offer from there. And Riley doing what he did so well last year, particularly with those intercept marks. Now the angle on the way out. Let's see where they head, Dern.
Well, they've got to keep possession here and then cut back in at some stage.
All right, Doom, hold that thought, because they didn't play to your first plan, which was keep possession. Mitchell gets it in, bouncing ball, good play by Burgoyne, knocked it forward. Rutten, though, was able to pick it off.
There they go.
Now McKay, through the middle, they have got options on.
Jenkins
further afield, Jenkins is lurking. If they can get it in, he's going to have to kick it 65 metres. He does, and Jenkins takes the mark. Beautiful, beautiful play.
Well, that was shades of what Hawthorn did in the first quarter, wasn't it, Dan? When you have those fast turnovers through half-back, if you can keep the ball on the body, invariably you go straight through the middle and the forward line opens up, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, we're watching Jenkins in the forward line, but Kerridge's kick, Doom, was magnificent.
Wonderful, once again. The change of direction was actually Hawthorn's fault. They missed their kick going into the forward line, which left the ball in the corridor, and from there it was a fast break straight forward.
20 metres out, directly in front. Jenkins comes in and puts it through. Badly needed goal. Well played, Crows.
Here's Jenkins. He's a mile off his opponent. We can't quite pick up who that is, but...
It's Birchall coming now.
Is it? He snuck out the back, and look, in days gone by, that was called cheating. Today, it's offensive running, and that's how you get out the back of the zone, and long penetrating kicks from blokes like Kerridge is exactly what you need.
Maybe that's the impetus for the Crows at the start of this second quarter. 7 minutes gone. So it's only early days. A goal each in this quarter number 2. Gathered by Thompson, was charging the wrong way. Had to adjust and kick it to Kerridge again. Let's see, he's going to come at him. Jenkins is deep. He's trying to dart one way than the other.
Jacobs, go to Jacobs. He's there.
He is there. He was screaming
Never
for
saw
him.
him.
He didn't spot him. He goes instead to Jenkins. Got a shove. And Chamber was right on the job there.
Well, he was right, Hutto. You sport. It was a push in the back, but that's an inexperienced forward line out working. Jacobs was free, straight in front, 30 metres out. Instead, Jenkins is kicking from 30 metres out on the wrong side for a right footer. Here's the push in the back.
Yeah, hand on the back.
But he's going to be kicking from the boundary line. This is a very tough kick.
So quick to get to the whistle, just like a razor almost.
Well, he doesn't like razor. Didn't you see that on Fox Footy?
Chamber. Yeah.
21 points the margin then. Jenkins kicked the one in front. Can he kick it from the angle? Yeah, it's not. Oh, no. Just across too far.
So 1 goal, 2, and 1 that just dropped on the line for Jenkins so far.
They've got to get the message out to that forward line to present themselves up the corridor a bit more.
Buddy grabs high. Tarley will take the free kick.
He's doing a good job on him, Boom, isn't he?
Crowd involved at the moment.
They're up, no doubt. McKay's kick was a good one.
One thing Adelaide have done, they've now taken their 9th mark in this second quarter compared to Hawthorn's 2. So they're actually finding the target. They weren't really taking all that many marks in the first quarter. So retention of the footy is what we're talking about. They took...
He might have been a bit unlucky there, buddy.
Was he ever?
Yeah, the umpire's got a bit excited. So Yenchu was busy last week up forward. This is a big kick. They have to kick this one, the Crows, from 52 metres. He gives it everything, and in doing so, just hooks it at the last couple of metres through for a behind. So 2 set shots at goal, 2 behinds to the Crows when they desperately need goals. They've had 9 scoring shots to 8, but still are doubled in their score.
Guerra. Here's another chance for Franklin and Talia. Stratton was in the mix as well, but it's over the boundary line, so job done for Talia.
One thing Talia is doing to Franklin, he's at least, on those types of plays, leading Franklin to the drop of the ball. And he's tall enough that he forces Franklin to make the decision, do I hang back and hope for a scunge out the back, or do I motion him under the footy, which could result in an in-the-back adjudication.
Hale and Rutten both scrambling for it on the wing. Tunneled through the legs. Now Lewis is hurt, as you can see. We'll get back to that in a moment. McKernan's got the footy. McKay and Tambling running the angles. Kicked it as well as he could to the spot. Dangerfield, he's earned himself a free.
Well, let's have a look at this free kick here, because Dangerfield had the ball in his hands. Just need to wait for the replay. It was a good lead by Danger and a good kick. Here it is. Up he goes.
Yeah, all day.
And you can't punch the arms these days. Free kick.
And a friendly fire with Lewis getting cleaned up by Hale.
Oh, that one hurt him.
Bit of hail damage to him.
Don't like that, Doom, do you?
So the margin is 19. All eyes on this man. Dangerfield. And slots it. They're back. Back to within 13. Let's have a look at the lead from Dangerfield. You can see it here with our Comcam.
That's Guerra next to him. Guerra tries to cut the angle.
Yeah, it's gutsy if you're going to leave a bloke like that 2 or 3 metres. Maybe he does that because he doesn't think he's got the speed to go with him.
Well, Guerra was the one who kicked out, so Dangerfield starts 15 metres ahead of him because the ball got a quick play turnaround from the kick out.
So the Crows start to get a bit of value for money for their forward 4As. 3-7 to 6-2. They trail though by 13 points.
They've scored on it. Sorry, Ed, they've scored on every inside 50 so far this quarter.
So Thompson over the top of the ball, does the U-turn, tries to flick it out the back, doesn't quite work. But they get it back anyway, the Crows. Douglas to Rutten, back to Douglas. Douglas looks up and does it well. Tambling underneath, has to hit the pack hard here.
Well
Roughhead beat 2 of them.
Well done, Roughhead.
Guerra with a booming left foot kick. In it goes to the forward 50 at the back of the pack. Fall of the ball, picked up by Buddy, slams it out of bounds on the full.
Well, he's got to hold his nerve here, Buddy, because he could start getting a bit frustrated, couldn't he, Doom? Because Talia at the moment is everywhere. He's right all over him.
I thought Talia was a little bit panicky in the first few contests. He gave away holding free kicks, but he's played Buddy pretty well since that opening 7 or 8 minutes of the first quarter.
We know Buddy coming off a 5 behind only game last week. We're getting a bit impatient. Margin 13. Crows fans a lot happier what they've seen early in the second term. There's a shove, it's a Hawthorn free, and it's going to Roughhead.
Mitchell lurking by himself, side on here.
Lewis is on his own deep.
He's down there with Riley. He'll be right in the frame. At the back, Puopolo does get through there in the end. Couldn't handball. He was dumped by Lyons, but they've kept it in Adelaide hands, and eventually they're going to get out. Lynch takes the play.
Great play. They didn't panic then. That was good.
They're working harder now. You can just see them covering the ground through the mid-zone here.
Switch here. They need to switch.
And it's on through the midfield. Rory Sloane can go over the top again. He does around the body. Kick was between the two targets. It sits eventually for Brown. Over the top he goes. Tully now looks up. Not much on, so he goes long up to the forward 50, hoping for a lucky bounce, but Mitchell just sweeping across half-back was fantastic. Jurea chips over the line and out of bounds, so the pressure's starting to come on the Hawks now, and the crowd are getting involved. The 19th man, they like to call him here at Amy Stadium.
Too far out to score. Either needs to find a short lead or go to the top of the square.
His kicking has been magnificent, Douglas. This time he lines it up and hits the spot again. The kick was good. They just couldn't quite hold the mark. Jenkins it was, or Lynch. Now the ball spills. McKernan gets it out. Snap on goal. Kerridge has got his goal. He's been great. Kerridge steps truly for the Crows. They're right back in this game.
Well, that's their 6th inside 50 in this second quarter, and they've kicked 3 goal 3. So Hawthorn's defence needs to have a look at itself at the moment. They're going straight through them.
Well, one thing that happens there, fatigue sets in. And look how many Hawthorn players get to the ball. There's 3 who get to the immediate stop of the ball right there. 1, 2, 3, as opposed to 5 Adelaide players. So a little bit of fatigue sets in. Get them all to the ball in the forward line.
Crows, players and fans alike celebrating 3 consecutive goals. And they're dominating possession at the moment. You can see that's reflected in the marks. 13-3 in the quarter. Free kick to the skipper. Virtual sneaks past just behind him, looking for the little wraparound handle. That's what you do when you're being tagged, Room.
Exactly right. I don't try and get into the game with a cheapie.
Hodge.
Play on, it's going to be touched.
Probing kick, you're rolling on it with the players. None of them aware of it.
Touched.
So that probably won't ping him here.
Now, he called that nice and early. As the ball was in flight, to be a brave umpire.
Yeah, he couldn't do it to him.
I'm 120 away and I heard it.
You've got headphones on, dude. You've got headphones on, mate.
Here's Isaac Smith charging. Unbelievable effort, but just misses. And so the margin is 8. Just been trimmed in this quarter. 3-3 to 1-1. And we've really got a game on our hands now. You can sense it.
We're one of the few sports who feel sorry for players when they can't hear things they should.
So Riley to Thompson. Brown, they have to just think this through. 10 minutes to go in this quarter. And the Crows have done well. 28 points down, 58 seconds into the second quarter when Osborne kicked the goal. They've kicked the last 3 to get themselves right back in it. Haven't dropped their heads. They've been good. Wasn't going their way early. Oh, up a mile. Was Vince. Didn't go 15, says the umpire. No sense of occasion. Chamber, what are you doing?
I'd like to measure that one, boys, wouldn't you?
Oh, it went 50.
Up in the air.
Yeah, I reckon it might have went 15 too. Anyway, play on.
Seen shorter ones given. No doubt about
Dangerfield's
it.
free if it goes to the left. That's Russian roulette by those 2 teams then. Well marked.
Rutten in game 200 has been fantastic so far in the first quarter and a half. Transfers play. This is what the boys wanted. A bit of extra run, and they've got it as it goes out the back to Lynch.
It does. He looks up, and all bases covered long. So he has to wait until there's something in the middle.
Kick.
It was. Burgoyne was onto it, but Dangerfield steeled himself. Switches. Now they're moving it around the Crows. They advance with purpose. Rutten, hard, long lead comes.
Holding the man.
And they held onto him.
That's the size. That's the size of Jenkins that does that.
And Dermond, Rue and Kingy, they're getting the switching going. They're getting the angles better. They're not as predictable.
Yeah, well, they're certainly taking the game on more now, and that's just what you do when you're under pressure as a defender. You sometimes just go and grab that hand when you really don't need to. But, gee, this would be an important kick. Put them back within 2 points if you can kick this.
Well, at this stage, the accuracy is absolutely paramount here for Jenkins from 50 out, and it's right to the wire. He really didn't strike it, though, did he?
What a big kick. That's the second one he's fallen short on, one at the other end from kicking from true 50.
Missed kicks. He's a better kick than that. They're missed kicks.
2 missed kicks.
Well, that 1 goal 3. Fantastic vision. See what happens when you put a camera in the post. You can see what's going on. His hat.
Hint.
Offhands Hodge. Look at that little toe poke to Buddy. If they didn't pay Vince's one, they weren't going to pay that one, that's for sure. And the turnover is on here for the Crows. Good pressure. Thompson got it down. Made Brown stretch, and away he goes. 2 bounces. Looks inside. He's got players on in the pocket, but he's muffed the kick up. And Guerra was the man who took the mark. They had them loose. Needed to go to the top of the square. Guerra's kick, dangerous. Poor pleasure. The kick is a ripper. And the mark is taken by Big Jenkins.
They're separating Hawthorn now when they're coming in from the half-back line or midfield. They're not so predictable coming forward, so Hawthorn are having to play man-on-man rather than know where the long kick's coming down the line and getting extra numbers there. They're having to be one-on-one, and that's suiting Adelaide. And that's just a straight-out turnover.
Jenkins has kicked 1 goal 3 from 4 shots at, make that 5 shots at goal. 1 didn't make the distance. A hush on the crowd. Got it, and it's a point the difference. A 27-point turnaround since the 1-minute mark of this quarter.
Yeah, all of a sudden Hawthorn on the side, they're under pressure. 8 inside 50s for 4 goal 4. That is a very leaky defence at the moment, and that's because the ball's coming in a lot quicker. The defence of Adelaide are taking the game on more. They're moving the ball through the middle of the ground, and the Hawthorn defenders are one-on-one in space. Gibson, one of the best defenders in the competition, all of a sudden is getting a bit of a touch-up from one of the younger blokes in the competition, Josh Jenkins.
You can just see there how easy it is to score from turnovers. They've been powerful forward of centre because the Hawks just can't get it out of there. They've only taken 4 marks for the quarter. The Crows' pressure is outstanding.
It's been an astonishing turnaround, and Dangerfield looking for more. Gathers it, lovely collect and quick kick to half forward. Sloan pushing, shoving, marking, taking it away from Stratton. Looking into the 50. Couple of hard leads. One comes from McKernan. He goes longer than that. Oh, big lead, poor pleasure, unrealistic.
And the wrong choice again from Rory Sloan to go to that puck. He had Jenkins running back to full forward. He just needed to kick it in with flight.
Jenkins had got away, hadn't he, Roo? He'd run back with the flight of the ball and really got some space.
Stratton's kick, but
one-hander.
And he pushed aside, just brushed aside Buddy Franklin, Dangerfield.
If you can isolate Jenkins, I'd go to him every time.
Well, they're going into him this time, Durham. He just can't quite cling on. Poor pleasure. Yench back again with Thompson to Sloan. Franklin was coming for him. Quick kick lines around the corner. Top of the square. McKernan's turn. Misjudged in flight. Desperate stakes. And it's through for a behind. And scores are officially level.
Kingy, I'm loving poor pleasure in those pockets.
Well, they're just throwing themselves at the contest now. They're not playing reactive football. It's very proactive. And I'll tell you what, the energy they're getting from the crowd down here at ground level is really giving them a lift.
Well, you can feel it, Ed, can't you, coming through the microphone?
You can, as Brown under pressure kicks it out on the full. Sorry, no, Brown was on Smith under pressure out on the full, who's normally a beautiful kick.
Right-footed himself. Yeah, because of the chase of Jenkins, he didn't allow him to get back onto his dominant left foot.
So made the kick with the right.
This is better. Now, I reckon they've addressed this at quarter time. They did not go backwards once to get to the other side in the first quarter.
It's because Gunston's gone forward, Dermy. He's gone as a loose defender, and they've got an extra player there now, so they just have to find the loose across half-back, Adelaide.
I was ahead of myself. That was Smith who turned it over with the kick.
So here's Gunston.
Back to Guerra. Now, Rui, that transfer there was a short kick on that needed to be honoured, and then the separation would have been on. He went for too much to Sloan.
Yep.
Having said that, Sloan probably could have marked it. Vince, and away they go again. The danger man, Dangerfield. Little chip kick to Thompson, who's been good.
They've got numbers behind the ball, Hawthorn, so what Adelaide have to do now is hit up the short lead. They can't afford to bomb it in as long now.
There's more shorts on. Tambling's on. Now it's in a half forward. He could go to Talia, who's drifted down. He decides to go to Dangerfield, and long bombs to the square. Up they go. Off hands. No in the backs is the umpire. Great tackle, McKernan. That's dropping the ball. Has to be. No, says the umpire. And then pulls out a free kick to Hawthorn. Wow.
Need to have a look at that one, boys, don't we? It was a good tackle by McKernan.
Here it comes. Took him on. Caught. 180.
Jeez.
Dropped the ball. Gone all day.
Well, I don't know if one step's taking him on.
Oh, Dermot.
Don't ruin the theatre.
It's not press red for Ed, I can tell you, mate. You've got to be unbiased here, pal. Yeah. It's a shocker.
You've got to take more than 2 steps to take someone on.
It's umpire appreciation round. We appreciate them, but that was a shocker.
Appreciate the mistakes there. To half forward, chopped off by
I think you pulled the trigger a little early on that one.
The heat's on, even up in the commentary box here, Hutto.
Yeah, it is. It's on the Hawks. Don't worry about that. Giray pokes it and finds Birchall. It's inch by inch, step by step for the Hawks at the moment. They just want to get a feel for the footy.
Well, 28 contested possessions to 24 in favour of Adelaide this quarter, but they've held on to the footy when they've got it.
Franklin got them in there.
Got to keep the feet here, boys.
He's trying hard.
Oh, well done.
Did the angles beautifully. Piopple over it.
That's a lesson for footballers out there too. That was extreme pressure. Would have been easy to go to get the ground. They both kept their feet, and Piopolo nearly got a goal.
They're back in front, the Hawks head.
They are. And coming down to 3 minutes left in this quarter. Sometimes at this stage, Derm, you feel you don't want to concede a goal as much as even get one at this stage. Keep the momentum, hold it up. They've done so well,
They should be right now, Adelaide, because it's a slow play. They'll have defensive numbers back. What you worry about is when the ball gets out to the centre of the ground, they turn it over here with space.
Tambling just panicked a bit there. Just chipped it, jabbed at it. Need to kick the ball. Mitchell, beautiful play, just lays it off to his teammate there in Lewis. And Tamblin will want to have that one back. You'll think about that one for a long time.
Hawks have had 3 players, Bruce, Shields and Burgoyne, who have not had a possession in this quarter.
Second quarter. Yeah, Bruce has... Well, I thought he was probably the best playmaker on the ground in the first quarter. Completely shut out of it this quarter.
So Lewis to really punish Tambling for kicking off one step on his back of his heels. But he lets him off the hook.
Doubled the lead, though.
He's trimmed down, Dermy, hasn't he, Lewis? And so has Hodge. There's a number of players that are... I don't know if they're getting ready for less rotations next year or not, but certainly they're not bulky, are they?
Smith's kick into play is judged very well by the big man, Jacobs. He's prepared to kick back into the middle. There's an element of risk there, but he finds Andy on.
Now, because he's done that, he's got the opportunity now to go either way. Now, you have a look at the greater field spread now. Hawthorn is separated.
He's made for a pleasure to try and take a specking, which he has. He was asking a bit of his teammate.
Go backwards. He's got to play it backwards.
Really are reluctant to do that. That was well placed from McKernan. Again, Tambling drifting through the middle. The gift to Jens. And runs straight into Franklin. And he took his jumper off.
But he's getting angry.
That's the old tactic in the street fight there, Derm. Pull the jumper over the head.
Isn't it refreshing to see a bloke get his jumper off him and not be covered in tattoos in the AFL?
It's a Hawthorn free too out of that somehow.
He is. I mean, we think of Franklin as an unbelievable forward. He's actually a brilliant tackler. Defensively, he really does slap the tackle on.
He's had 8 disposals this quarter, buddy, the most for Hawthorn, which is very unusual. He hasn't been able to hit the scoreboard. As the Crows sort it out eventually. Sloan, 1:15 on the clock. Hawks lead by 2, so there's enough time for Adelaide to try and piece together a really meaningful attack here.
And they're on this side of the ground, on the members' side. Tamblin on the wing waiting for it. They decide to go up the middle. A turnover from Lewis. Rutten has got it. You can see the clock ticking down. Inside a minute to go in this term. What a fillip it'll be for the Crows if they can go in front at half-time. Thompson grabbed it at it, says the crowd. Tambling does well, then just let go at the final stage.
Oh, good handball.
Ball bobbing around on that defensive 50. Birchall got it away, gets it back, looks up. Beautiful player. They might even get a goal here. There's 29 seconds, and Birchall's kick is an absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. Didn't panic. Hill almost marked it. So they did pretty well there, the Crows. They were in real trouble there for a moment. I was watching Hill just lurking down as the ball came in. Couldn't quite mark it.
Were you surprised he didn't have a shot then, Doom?
Oh, I think he knew that Hill was on if he could get it to him, and he very nearly did.
Wasn't a great kick, and he's not a terribly long kick.
Well, what a comeback it's been for the Adelaide Crows. They kicked the last 4 goals, having been 28 points down at the 58-second mark when Osborne kicked the goal, and it looked like Hawthorn were going to roll over the top of them. But the Adelaide Crows fans at AAMI Stadium are up on their toes. It's 2 points at half-time at Adelaide Stadium. Tex Walker is our special guest next.